Hi, and welcome to this animation tutorial for beginners for Filmora. Let's get straight to the point and have a look at the video we'll recreate together in this tutorial. It's a 20-second demo animation for an imaginary company.
Tired of taking selfies? Are you stressed in front of the camera? At photoshoot123.com, we got you covered. Update your LinkedIn profile with a professional photo. Or update your dating apps and have people literally fall in love with the new you. The possibilities are endless. Sign up now and get started.
Alright, pretty awesome, right? And don't worry if this looks a bit overwhelming right now. I promise, you'll be able to do the exact same thing in Filmora right after watching this video. Now, there are multiple ways to produce animation, and in this tutorial for beginners, I'll show you what I think is the absolute simplest, easiest and fastest way. We will use something called stock animation, which is a library of ready-to-use assets that enable you to have access to professional level animations at your fingertips that you can have right now in Filmora within minutes with literally drag and drop simplicity. However, if your goal is to become a professional animator and build all of these yourself from scratch, that requires around 1,000 hours to acquire those skills, and this tutorial is not for you. And unfortunately, that process is not even possible in Filmora. However, if you like to skip all that boring stuff though, and get straight to the end result right now instead of months from now, if you like to have the same quality of animations right now after watching this video, without any previous experience or animation skills, then please keep watching. And as a bonus, I'll provide all the stock animation assets from this tutorial for you for free, so that you can also follow along in Filmora. Download link in the description. Alright, so here we are inside Filmora. And whenever you start any sort of animation project, whether it's an explainer video, a sales video, or a training video, or anything in between, you usually start with an idea, and you have to put that idea into words by writing a script. And for most videos, you probably are going to record a voiceover like we have right here. And if you're going to use stock animation like we just discussed earlier, you need to go online and find a bunch of suitable stock animation items online that are going to be relevant for your scenes in your script. So I already went ahead and did all of that. And don't worry, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you the best place online where you can also find amazing stock animation. Alright. So first things first, whenever I start a new animation video, I like to start with adding the voiceover here on the audio track, because everything that happens is built on the voiceover. Next, I'm going to add the music as well on another audio track here. And as you can see, the music track is a little bit long, so let me just zoom out, grab it all the way at the end, trim it. All right, zoom back in real quick.
Tired of taking selfies?
All right, so the music is a little bit too loud. So first, let's just grab the music here on this white line. And if you drag it down, you can adjust the volume. So I'm just going to drag that down to, let's say, minus 28.
Are you stressed in front of the camera? At Photoshoot.
All right, much better. So you want the main focus to be on the voiceover, not the music. And oops, as you can see here on the audio waveform, this little thing here, it goes up and down. This makes it very easy for you to read exactly what is being said and where. So here in the beginning, nothing is being said. So there's nothing. It's like a flat line, and then it goes up and down a little bit. There's like a pause here. There's like sentence number 2, which is basically another scene, another break here, and then it goes up and down a little bit. Someone is saying something, another break here, and so on. So this is going to make it very easy for us to see exactly where one scene ends and where the other scene starts, because we want to time whatever is happening on screen with what is being said in the voiceover. All right. So before we actually get to the stock animation and creating our scenes, I want us to first have a look at adding a background color, which unfortunately in Filmora, it's not really very straightforward. So that's why we have to do it in the beginning. So the only sort of workaround that I found is to go here where it says titles, and we're just gonna add any sort of title. So let's just go with this basic one. Oops, just click the plus to import it. And I'm just gonna make it as long as our entire timeline. And right now it looks like an actual title, but we don't need the text. So right click on the text here on the timeline, go to advanced edit, double click on this to remove the text. And what we're gonna do is, if you go here where it says add shape, let me just add a rectangle, grab it at the corners to make it larger like this. All right, so make it as big as the frame so it fills up the whole frame. And again, double click on the text to remove the text. And now if you scroll down all the way to here, it says color fill, and the color matches this. And now we can select any other color from here that we want. So I'm just gonna go with this light blue. All right, click OK. And now we have a background color. Not exactly straightforward, a bit of a workaround, but you know, we'll take it. All right, now let's see what the voiceover says first.
Tired of taking selfies?
All right, so let's go to My Media. And for this first scene, obviously, whenever you select the stock animation, you gotta think ahead and see where you want to use it. So I know I want to use this one for the first scene here because we're talking about selfies. All right, keep project settings. So this is a cool clip of this woman taking a selfie with a selfie stick, but it's a 10-second clip and I don't want all of it. So I'm only gonna keep it from, let's say here, where she kind of takes a step back. And I'm gonna trim the rest of it like this and move it all the way to the beginning. And let's just move our playhead here based on the waveform because I know that's where the first scene ends, and trim the ending. So that is scene number 1.
Tired of taking selfies? Are you stressed in front of the camera?
All right, so now we're talking about being stressed in front of the camera. So we have multiple different animations of the same character. So I'm just gonna go with this one where she is stressed. And as I was saying, we have different animations of the same character. We got different genders, ethnicities, anything that you might need to tell the exact story that you want to tell. Now let's go back to the timeline. So we have this woman being stressed and it kind of goes all the way to here. As we can see on the audio, there's a pause there. So grab it at the corner, trim the ending, and let's see what we have so far.
Tired of taking selfies? Are you stressed in front of the camera? At photoshoot123.com, we got you covered.
All right, so next we are introducing the name of the company, and here we can do a couple of things. Normally, you would introduce maybe the logo of the company, but in our case, this is an imaginary company, so it doesn't have a logo. So instead of that, we're just going to use this icon of a camera, which I think is very suitable for a company called Photoshoot123. So together with the camera, I want to add a title as well. So go here to titles, and I will use this one, basic 6. Click the plus button. All right, move it in the correct position like this. Now let's see how it looks. So right now they're on top of each other, so it still needs a little bit of work. So first let's double click on the camera here. And now I can actually resize it directly here on the preview window like this and move it back in the center. As you can see, we got this green line to make sure it's aligned perfectly. Awesome. And do the same, double click on the text and maybe move it a little bit lower like this. All right, much better. Now let's go here and actually change the text to photoshoot123.com. All right, let's make it bold. And let's change the font to, personally, I like Montserrat, so let's just go with that. Oops, not that. Yeah, we're gonna go with that one actually. Photoshoot123.com. And let's just change the color from white to black. And there you go. Now we have a lot more contrast and everything is much easier to read. So let's see what comes next on the timeline, on the voiceover.
Got you covered. Update your LinkedIn profile with a professional photo.
All right, so now we're talking about updating your LinkedIn photos. So let's go back to My Media and see what we have here. I'm going to make this scene a little bit dynamic by using, first of all, I'm going to use this logo animation of the LinkedIn logo. And next to it, I'm going to use a animation of the same woman as we had before, same character, but this time dressed a little bit more professional because it has to match the LinkedIn profile, right? We're talking, it's a work environment. So yeah. All right, trim it at the end. And right now they're on top of each other. So double click on the woman. So this way I have this little dotted line around it, which means I can move it like this. And let's do the same with the LinkedIn logo. Double click on it. Oops. Actually, you can click it here as well. So just gonna grab it on the corners to resize, make it a bit smaller. So hard to pick the right one. All right, much better. All right, looks good. Let's see what we have next.
Update your LinkedIn profile with a professional photo, or update your dating apps.
All right, cool. So next we're talking about a different kind of photos. We're talking about dating apps. So click OK here and yeah, go back to media. And for this one, I want to use, instead of a dating app logo, I have this icon. So drag and drop this here and resize it. I mean, trim the ending. And for the character animation, I want to use this one where she's on her phone. So you can actually preview it here if you want to, before you add it on the timeline. And again, as you can see, it's a pretty long one. It's like 10 seconds. So when I add it here, it's going to be like 10 seconds. But again, I don't want all of it. So I only want this part that I think is the best for me. I only need like 1 second of it, right? So I want this part where she's moving her hand like this. So trim the beginning. And now I'm going to move it here in the right spot. And then trim the ending as well to fit our scene. And let's see. All right, so actually now the timing is good, but they're currently on top of each other. So to fix that, you can just double click on the item here on top. So the woman is going to be the first animation. And I would move her to the left because I want to use the same structure as this, icon plus character on screen at the same time. But just to keep things more dynamic, I want to use it in reverse. So I'm going to have the woman on the left, which also works better because she's facing towards the right. So that's great. And then if I double click on the heart, double click on the heart as well, move it to the right, maybe resize it a little bit like that. Bring the woman a bit closer. Awesome. So let's see the first two scenes and let's see what we have. The last two scenes, and let's see what we have next.
Update your LinkedIn profile with a professional photo, or update your dating apps and have people literally fall in love with the new you.
All right, so next I want to make things even more dynamic. So I actually have 3 different guys, different ethnicities, and I want to add all 3 of them inside the same scene. So let's drag and drop them on the timeline, and I'm going to do that on top of each other like this. And right now you cannot really see all 3 of them because they're kind of covering each other basically. So let me just double click here, move one guy out of the way. Oops. Move this guy here. Move this guy to the right. Oops. Move this guy back in the middle. Sorry, this process is a bit messy, but yeah, we got it. All right, cool. So again, this is a long clip that's like 10 seconds, and I like this part in the middle where they lean in on the leg. So I want to trim the beginning because I don't want this part. So again, grab it on the corner, trim the beginning, trim this one as well, and then the other one as well. And it already jumped and connected to the previous scene, so that's great. And let's listen to the voiceover again and see where it ends exactly.
Fall in love with the new you.
So it ends around here, all right. Cool, so let me just trim the ending as well for all 3 of them. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And yeah, let's see how it looks and let's see what comes next.
Dating apps and have people literally fall in love with the new you. The possibilities are endless.
Alright, so now we're getting close to the end of the video. It's a moment of celebration, a moment of happiness. Our main character has found a solution and she's happy. So we have this clip of her celebrating, cheering, she's raising her hands, she's super happy. I like it, so I'm just gonna trim the end like this. Super good.
The possibilities are endless. Sign up now and get started.
Alright, so the last thing that we have, the last scene, is going to be our call to action. And honestly, we don't need to reinvent the wheel here. We can just go ahead and copy paste this scene that we have here because it's going to be the same sort of structure, logo plus call to action. So to do that, I can drag and select both clips here on the timeline from this scene, right click on them, copy, then go here with my playhead, right click and paste, and just move them in the right spot. All right, and now let's see. We got to double click on the text actually now, so we can go and change the text to the voiceover was saying, oops, sign up now, exclamation mark. All right, awesome. And yeah, one thing that you got to be careful with whenever you end a video is, for example, if I move my playhead to here, we still have the camera, this one, and this text on screen. You just cannot see it because it's black. But our background ended before. So you end up with this really odd situation. So you want to make sure that at the end you always match the endings of all the layers, except the voiceover. The voiceover doesn't matter because it finishes talking anyway, so that one's fine. So let's check it out.
Sign up now and get started.
Alright, so that's good, but one thing that really kind of annoys me a little bit is that the music just ends abruptly. It just gets cut, right? So to make it a little bit nicer and smoother, all you gotta do is add a bit of a fade. So let me just move the playhead out of the way so we can see better. And if you select the music track, here in the corner there's like a little thing that you can grab when the cursor turns to those two arrows. And if you grab it like this, it's basically going to add a audio fade out. So let's check it out.
Endless. Sign up now and get started.
All right, awesome. Now let's have a look all the way from the beginning and see this entire video that we just made together.
Tired of taking selfies? Are you stressed in front of the camera? At photoshoot123.com, we got you covered. Update your LinkedIn profile with a professional photo. Or update your dating apps and have people literally fall in love with the new you. The possibilities are endless. Sign up now and get started.
All right, I think that looks absolutely amazing. And what? It literally took us like, I don't know, 10, maybe 15 minutes to create all of this together. So we have 20 seconds of professionally looking animations that we just put together. And it only took us a couple of minutes, right, to create all this thing, compared to taking tens of hours to build this ourselves from scratch. And as you can see, using this method, it doesn't require any technical skills, any animation skills, or previous animation experience. All you need is some really basic Filmora editing skills that you can probably learn from just watching this tutorial, to be honest. But if you're watching this video, you most probably already own Filmora and you most probably already know how to use it anyway. So that's literally all that you need to be able to create the exact same level, professional quality animations. Because anyone can do this with stock animation. Now, the big question is, where can you find stock animation? You might be able to find some animation clips here and there on big stock platforms, but those are rare, because they usually specialize in stock footage shot with a camera, so for them, animation is not even an afterthought. The only place online dedicated exclusively to stock animation is videoplasty.com, the world's only animation-first stock platform. Full disclosure, I'm Edward Stunga, founder of Videoplasty. We built Videoplasty with one single goal in mind: to make animation easy, simple, and accessible to everyone, regardless of budget or previous animation experience. That's why we build and curate professionally animated assets that you can have access to with drag and drop simplicity, compatible with all of your favorite video editing software. Have a look on the website, we have plenty of characters, icons, scenes, and a lot more. Our items are generally sold individually, but are also available in bundles at a massively discounted price. Pricing is also very simple and straightforward. You can either pay per item, or you can choose a monthly subscription with download credits or unlimited downloads. Use the discount code in the description to get 25% off your first order. This was Edward Stunga, founder of Videoplasty.com. If you watched all the way to the end, you are awesome. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and until next time, stay creative.